going to keep moving on here. While they're setting up behind me, I want to introduce our next fireside chat. We're going to change the tone a little bit here. Because we move from something fun like this, talking about papayas all over the world. But I want to have a little bit of a reality check with us all. I've been here in Guatemala before, and you see some wonderful, beautiful things. But there's a fact that nearly half of the children here in Guatemala are facing chronic malnutrition. It's a silent crisis that's threatening the future of generations to come. So in our next conversation with Estuardo Sinibaldi, who's the chairman of Castillo Hermanos, this is a leader in regenerative development, alongside our own Janma Bardi, they're going to explore this tough reality with bold solutions and the long-term vision needed to heal this nation and inspire change all across Latin America. So please put it together and welcome Estuardo and Janma to the stage. It's all yours.
So, are you? See? Super. Okay, let's do it. So, sorry about this. Things happen in life, and we're part of that. So, Estuardo, muchas gracias.
No, it's a pleasure to be here, Janma.
You know, he's a great leader, and I'm not just saying it because you're part of this process, and Castillo Hermanos has been a great partner for us in Volcano, but not for that, because of you, because of Roberto, because of Andres, because you have an amazing team behind you, Jose Antonio, Luis, so many people that you have behind of Castillo Hermanos that really, really connect with us. And I just want to do that shout out because it's a teamwork that we do here, and we collaborate. As we always say, Volcano, our purpose is transform lives in society through collaboration and inspiration. And that's what we are here for. So gracias. From the presidency, how do you view your role in the company's strategy and evolution? Estuardo, how do you balance and coordinate all this? Your work with Roberto, your CEO, all the team behind it, the board. I know it's not so easy. So tell us a little bit about that, because we want to hear from you what is happening behind it.
No, absolutely, Janma. And thanks for the opportunity of being here. Definitely, this is a collaboration, and I'm just representing the people sitting here because, as you can imagine, I'm just the face of 21,000 people, and we all collaborate. To be able to collaborate, you need to have clear accountability. I really loved what Harris was saying: transparency, accountability, keywords. And if you don't have rules that you can follow and being accountable for what you do, who you are, what you want to achieve, it's really difficult, because then it becomes a mess. So I think our success comes from having a very clear corporate governance, very clear roles. So as the chairman of the board, integrating the board into looking at the long term,
But
managing risk, and not get involved with the operation.
wow.
And that's the difference between what we do, how we set the strategy, and how the strategy is executed.
Wow. And first of that, I love that you know, that comment, and that I know that it comes from the heart. And before that, I will come back a little bit because I want him to be more personal. And Estuardo, you stand at the forefront, and we know that. One of the most influential corporations in the region, in the country, for sure, in the region, for sure. How did your journey, as a leader begin? I want to hear more about that. We always hear are very personal, in Volcano. And I want you to really open to the crowd, and to the team, and the people that are here, what experiences or principles shape you, your leadership. Because it's amazing what you've done since you begin your journey and now your other role that you're doing. So tell us a little bit about you.
I think your upbringing is key to who you are, to your essence, right? So all those experiences from your childhood. So I'm gonna start with my dad, who worked for the corporation for over 40 years. So growing up gave me the passion of where I am today. So that's one key thing. My father went to a military academy in San Mateo. So that gives you a hint of how demanding such a perfectionist, attentive to details. So I had to undo myself on seeking for perfection because it's the stoppage of progress. But then I had my mom. My mom was the spark of life. I mean, she would light up a room when she came in without knowing
sparks
it
of life.
or planning it.
I love that.
So at the end, enjoying the simple things of life, but doing it right for the right reasons.
Wow. A big applause for him, please. It chills me, when you hear these words and you hear what is about it. Also, I heard when you was telling me we were having this type of conversations. So one thing that I want to tell you, Estuardo was like, Janma, I want you to, we have a better conversations and you have a better relationship before we get here. And he was very open to have a different conversations between them. I will tell you more about that in a moment. But really understand him from the point of view of the personal side. Wow, it's tremendous. And gracias for being open to do that. When you think about the legacy that you want to leave behind, what idea or vision you can share with everyone has guided you through your life?
So I'm going to start with a phrase and then I'm going to build on it.
Okay.
There is no successful company in a failed society. So let's start with that principle. And so what we're going to talk about now, and as it was stated, it's been years, decades, since 1 out of 2 kids in Guatemala have some sort of undernourishment, malnutrition. And that cannot go along the ways if we want to be successful in this country. Think about it. Everybody here has a dream. Everybody here wants to be a successful entrepreneur. Who's going to work for you if 1 out of 2 kids will fail mentally in the future? So it's a hard statement. It's a very hard statement. And so honestly, we had to rethink and redo everything that we have thought that was right. And that's how our journey started, with thinking about what you're going to hear about.
And that, please, when I was telling him, what you're now doing, you're leading, because he's an entrepreneur. You're an entrepreneur. He's been in corporations, but when you've been leading a lot of innovation. But also, when you came back, you were like, okay, guys, I want to be part of this, but what are we doing with our society? Where are we impacting really from the ground? And that chills me, because you were like, yeah, from 10 kids, 5 kids have malnutrition, chronic malnutrition. What we are doing with the corporation, what are we building for understanding how we're gonna really impact all those kids, but in the real world, because they're gonna be a good citizens in Guatemala and in the region. So I love that you started with that, with that sparkle to come back and say, because you were in, think, Mexico or Japan and everywhere for like 20 years, no? And really connecting back to your roots, but being very, very understandable and very meaningful to give back to the citizens, that's a beautiful thing. So what have you learned about how a board of directors can generate true strategic value beyond operational or financial matters? You can tell us a little bit about that?
I'll tell you a little bit of who we are. We've been, our family business has been around for 140 years. So we have tackled every issue there has been, not once, not twice, many times. And honestly, we have had amazing leaders. That today, I'm very thankful to the people that have been before me and working in the corporation, leading who we are, how it has shaped us, in where we are going. But I think, as I said before, there's no successful company with a failed society. So it was right during COVID that we raised the question, and is how has COVID affected the malnutrition in the kids? But the surprise, it was not how it was affected. The surprise was there has been NGOs, government, private entities trying to tackle the issue, and the numbers don't change. So something had to be done. We have been involved in loving Guatemala, from day one. Every time there's something going on, if a volcano erupts and there's damage, here we go, first ones to go and help, the communities where we are involved in. So we needed to tackle this problem with a different mindset. I'm a fan of Ismail from Singularity University, because he dreams big. It's what is going to be the next unicorn? It's $1 billion question. So when you think about this issue, you got to tackle it with that mindset. It's not about the health part. It's not about the environment. It's because everybody does something about it, right? The water, tackling the health part, tackling the issues. But you have to think about it in a long-term, in a holistic manner. And that's how we started to dream about how can we tackle, as Guatemalans, putting your money behind it, the biggest issue faced by this country.
And I love that, because you were like, how we can do this here? But you're thinking about scaling it, not just Guatemala, but for Latin Americans. And here that we're in an event that we have really understand that we have this matter and this problem through all Latin America, you're tackling something bigger than our country. And I know that you're starting here as a seed that you're planting, but it's gonna be more bigger than ever. So tell us a little bit about that. Guatemaltecos por la desnutrición. I can hear more about that process because it's beautiful.
So I'm going to raise it a little bit more. We wanted it for the world, not for Latin America.
I know.
Because unfortunately, Guatemala has probably the biggest issue in the world. So at the end, the only thing, as Guatemalans, sometimes it's difficult for us to dream big. And that's a mindset that it's been changing, but it needs to change some more. So honestly, the magic...
Really transforming lives from the beginning, and that's...
So the magic comes from some people sitting here. And first I want to have Jose Silva stand up. He's the...
Wow, gracias.
He is the head of the project.
Gracias.
And I want the rest of the team, Diego, Ale, stand up, please. They
Gracias.
are the ones that do the magic.
A big applause for them, please.
And
You're in the fields. You're doing great jobs, and you're combating this. Gracias.
so these guys are the ones that believed in the dream to make it happen. And somebody who was really pushing behind a concept that resonates very big here, Guayo, he's the one that told us, you have to transform the issue into entrepreneurs. And that's the thing that makes it
Gracias.
sustainable. So honestly, this is a teamwork. I'm just helping to dream big in here. And so at the end, we learned from everybody. We did not invent, the sugar water, as we say in Guatemala. We just learned from everybody. We started understanding what USAID had done back in the day with Dr. Alfaro. We started looking at what Japan Cooperation has done with water. We have been looking into, a Spanish cooperation, into systems.
I know that you brought from every corner of the world.
Absolutely. And even as launched, we're still learning. This is a learning cycle. This is still, first project. So at the end, and these guys thinking about how to replicate it, they started just making sure that first of all, everything was documented. So they started to look into, the ISO process to document and make it replicable.
And making it happen.
The other challenge is, how do you audit these
Wow,
things?
yeah, you told me about that.
I
Tell
called-
the audience, it's not so easy.
I called Deloitte, and they're like, "What? What are you doing?" It's not that direction. So at the end, we managed to meet people from this side of the world, and Dr. Sofia Aguirre, who is in the
Maybe
university.
tell us a little bit about her, because
Oh yeah.
you told me about her, and I'm like surprised about what is her career.
So at the end, she's a doctor in economy, and what she does is audit these kinds of projects. So we contacted her from the Catholic University of Washington, and she just delivered the news on the 26th of August, which was, you have the most impactful and effective project to hit chronic malnutrition in the world.
Wow. This just happened, like 2 weeks ago. It was 2 weeks ago announced. I was like, with Estuardo, I went to the project Huehuetenango. For me, it was like Bali in Guatemala. I don't know if everyone has gone to Huehuetenango. If not, put it in your list. They started in a remote place where anything, you cannot go, I don't know, it's like 18 hours in trucks, 18 hours in car. It's like insane going to there, but it's insanely beautiful to go to there. I don't know, I was there. It was like, wow, I'm very grateful to be in this space. But you went there and say, okay, if we do it here remotely where there's no communication, there's not electricity, there's a lot of things that they're not here, no internet access. If you do it here, we can do it everywhere. And you did it. You did it. And you did it. Everyone that is part of Castillo Hermanos, you did it. So when you called me and you said, okay, let's go, we went. It was a beautiful ride. And we saw it there. Everything, the collaboration that you did between all the companies that you were saying right now, and you were, Janma, I think we're going to be between the top 3 projects that are really combating chronic malnutrition in the world. And they got the first one. Here in Guatemala, I started the first, better, and the best project and program to really combat the chronic malnutrition. Imagine that for Guatemala and Latin Americans. It's a big applause for everyone that we're carrying to this. Gracias, Estuardo.
Thank you so much, Janma.
That was 4 years ago, no? 5 years ago.
The dream started 3 years ago.
3 years.
Yeah.
So non-stop 3 years. After that, you really know that you can envision something more bigger, what you dream. So I know that you're the leader of a company that's 140 years. How it feels that? Because I know that there was a lot of changes in the past, but this, it means a lot to you and what you're committed to do for the next 100 years. Tell us about that.
I think the key of it is to be long-term, have a long-term vision. You know, that is the big difference. And as you said, I worked for a multinational company for 25 years. And despite the fact that we had a 3-year vision, it was very much quarterly based, you know? And when you don't have a long-term focus, it's really difficult to achieve things. And for this project, I mean, just to be able to be accepted into the communities, it takes a year to socialize who you are, what you want to do. There's a big difference, and it's everybody comes in and gives something away. We didn't come in with any promise. At the end, we told them, we're coming in without giving you anything. So I know that Jose had his challenges in coming in and really being accepted by the communities. So it took a long time, took a lot of people to help us out. And here is where I come with collaboration, you know. To be sustainable for whatever long term, you need to learn how to collaborate. And that starts with treating everybody with dignity. We treat the 21,000 people that work with us, their family. It's very simple. Everybody is family. One rule we had when COVID hit, nobody is getting fired from this company.
Wow. These type of things are like, you know, you're an example for everyone. And this example comes from there, and it's beautiful because it comes from the heart, from a vision, for a big team, and I love it. And I want to like, if you can tell us a little bit about the tangible are you seeing so far? What tangible results of this project have you seen? For sure, the first thing is like you're the biggest and the best program in the world, but tell us a little bit more.
So you're going to see a video which is going to show you some numbers that come from Sofia Aguirre. We have our own measurements that go a lot deeper into this, but we go with top standards in the world. And so when you see the numbers, I mean, we basically eliminated, which is the acute malnutrition. Acute malnutrition is if you don't act, the child will die. So let's start with the urgency of it. Once you take the child out of the acute malnutrition, he comes into chronic malnutrition, which is you need to make the kid grow, you know, start growing again, and that's when the brain develops. And that's within the first 2 years. So there you need to make it sustainable. And for the chronic, it was completely eliminated, 0 or little traceable. For the chronic for the acute, for the chronic, Sophia says we lowered it by 17 percentage points. So if you start by 50, you lowered it by 17, but our numbers are between 7 and 9 percentage points.
Wow.
So imagine start at 50, how many years we have replicating this, going into the communities if we start this. So now that I have the opportunity, we are only tackling a small part of Guatemala. And for me, this is the right time to call for action, right? This is the right time for us Guatemalans, private, government, NGOs, to work together and tackle the problem together.
You have the seed. You have planted the seed. It's starting to grow. And the thing is how we can scale it all together.
Absolutely.
And that's the good thing. We're here to collaborate. If everyone is really onto chronic malnutrition and help our countries in this matter, that is very important for the human capital that we have, and to be competitive to really understand the opportunities that we can create for a lot of future, that's a beautiful thing that we can start really collaborating with Castillo Hermanos and doing Guatemaltecos por la Nutrición with everyone. So this is an invitation for you, everyone that is hearing this today, to really understand that we have the power to change a life. And that power of change that life starts from people that started dreaming big for us. So gracias.
Thank you, Janma.
And I know that this project, how do you balance the pursuit of profitability with the commitment to generate positive impact? Because it's not easy to really understand to do this type of projects and to do it from there.
So I said in the beginning, you have to do the right thing for the right reasons. If you do the right thing, profitability will come behind.
And if you give
Profitability
first.
can never be the objective.
Uh-huh.
Profitability has to be the outcome of what you do. And like I said, if you tackle these issues, in 40 years, we'll have the best people available for any problem in the world.
¡Wow! ¡Un fuerte aplauso! Gracias. Gracias. And you want to hit the video?
Let's
You
kick
ready?
it. Let's kick it.
But before that, if you had a message to share with the next generation of business leaders in Guatemala and the whole region of Latin America and all the people that are here, what will it be?
I think especially for Guatemala, it's dream big, do the right thing for the right reasons, and the rest will come.
Qué lindo. Gracias for being an amazing partner for us with Volcano. It's still going very far, far, far away. Hopefully 100 years from now, Volcano and Castillo Hermanos will be there. And just the last one. What inspires you the most of what is beating this as a country? What inspires you for getting all this?
No, I think Harry has said it well. I mean, he tells the story together with Gabi. We have an amazing country. Just tell the story correctly. Bring everybody into being one. Unity. I mean, we are amazing. Resiliency of the people in Guatemala. It's just incredible. And honestly, let's make it happen. Let's make it happen together.
Eso! Gracias. Gracias for this. The video, please. And thank you for this moment for everyone to hear about what they're changing, and you're changing a lot of lives, Estuardo. Gracias.
Guatemaltecos por la Nutrición es un programa de Castillo Hermanos que tiene...